Good evening. My name is Daniel St.Hilaire, and this is my discussion number 5, my TED Delivery Analyst. Imagine a world with information that you may need but may not be at your disposal, and picture a big company such as Google controlling what is suitable for you, the users, using filters. Well, the TED speaker I will be discussing and analyzing today is named Eli Praiser, and the TED Talk he presented was called Beware Online Filter Bubbles. So, in the first couple minutes of the presentation, Eli connected with the audience using a personal and unexpected touch in his message by engaging in a story of his life in Maine and how the internet was connected. Well, the internet was used to connect people together. By combining Facebook, Google, and his friends' personal pages in his presentation, that was unexpected for a speaker to do, which really kind of um, engaged me more in the listener by viewing that he was able to broadcast his personal profile. To me, the presenter came out kind of bland within the story. The speaker Eli, he kept the medium vocal tonality, and it was even feel within the presentation. It could have been brought out to be more engaging in the tone in his speech. Another factor I felt that could have been better was the placement of where he stood. A majority of the time he was basically center stage, and I believe that he could have been more engaging with the audience, because that is really critical for me, at least. Like the left stage, the right stage, the center, and the back stage would have been more engaging and connecting with the audience. Um, but one thing the presenter did have, which was his gestures and his hands movements, showing that he really was passionate about what he was saying to the audience, using a lot of his hands movements. So he was he had big gestures. Uh, I did find a couple different star elements in the book, but one star element that really rocked me, which I'm going to be quoting from our residence textbooks in chapter 7, page 148, was the emotive storytelling. Eli tells the audience about a story an experiment he conducted with two of his friends, Scott and Daniel, and he finds to prove his theory about the filter bubble being correct, using using I'm sorry, using his idea about what Google search query is doing for viewers or people using these certain browsers. So that was one thing. One thing I found in the stars, emotive storytelling. One of the commandments I noticed I located for that was more relevant to Eli's speech was, "Thou shalt tell stories." Like I said before, Eli was engaging in several different stories to show his presentation, as in the first story about him and Maine and the internet, second story about him and his friends. Those were a little bit of storytellings I found that to be conjoined with "Thou shalt tell stories." So that's one of the commandments I located that was more relevant to Eli's case. To conclude this whole presentation of the analysts, I feel that my presentation, I would love it to be equaled up to Eli's, because again, even though some of his placement was off, I feel that I could be more engaging. I would love to take some of the elements of him being his hand gestures or even his slides. I would love those to be very well put together, for I'll be able to apply that to mine for my Ignite speech. So that's one thing. Also, my wording, I run over my words a lot, and I really feel that that is one thing I have to work at, for I'll be able to excel in my presentation. And I mush my words a lot, and that is something that I gotta keep practicing and working on. This is something that I'm practicing daily to achieve at. So by watching this TED Talk, it really inspired me to practice the way I present my speech is to slow down, to take my time reading over my notes and basically engaging in my conversation. That I want to be able to be passionate about what I'm saying for the audience know I'm passionate and they'll take me serious as the presenter. Okay, thank you.